Hey guys, the Blue Bridge here, and in my final video to the build-up of this week's Carabao Cup final, I'm going to be looking at the different positions and who I think's got the edge in each area. So if you haven't caught my other two videos which I made this week, have a look. And in the first one I took a look at both managers and looked at the Jurgen Klopp Roadshow up against Pochettino, who hasn't yet won a major trophy in England. And yesterday I took a look at the injury list. Liverpool crying over their injuries, but Chelsea having more injuries than Liverpool. And today I'm going to be looking at the different positions and seeing who's got the edge, especially with Liverpool's players out or supposedly out and Chelsea players who are out. So first of all, let's get into it. So goalkeeping. So Chelsea, both teams have got their number two goalkeepers. Petrovic has done well, deputising for Sanchez, and so much that has he taken over the number one spot? I don't know. Sanchez, it'll be interesting to see because Sanchez was back fit, but then he had an illness, so he couldn't play the weekend against Manchester City. So it's interesting. It'll be interesting to see who stays, whether Petrovic keeps his position in goal. He hasn't really let us down. He was a bit dodgy in the game against Man City. I think some of his catching, but he did make some vital saves though in that game. So, but playing out from the back, I think Sanchez is the better of the two goalkeepers. And then for Liverpool now, big loss for them in Alisson being out. But as I mentioned in yesterday's video, Kelleher is usually their cup goalkeeper anyway. But obviously Chelsea will fancy their chances more up against Kelleher. He's a decent backup, but he's no Alisson. But as I said, he's still somebody who's a safe pair of hands in their Liverpool goal. But I think our goalkeeper Petrovic probably just shades it out of the two. If we move into defence now, Liverpool are missing Trent Alexander-Arnold for this game, whereas we're missing Reece James. So I believe that they'll probably play Gomez because with our sort of speed on the counter-attack, they'll probably play a more defensive-minded player, because remember Nicholas Jackson wasn't here when we played them and lost 4-1 at Stamford Bridge. He could have been a difference maker. We'll talk about him later. But with Bradley likes to come forward a bit more. Would they prefer to go for the defensive surety of Gomez? So that's a conundrum for Jurgen Klopp to sort out. And he'll probably put Robertson back in his favoured left back position. I think Gomez was playing left back against Luton the other day. So it's noticeable that he rested Robertson, and he rested Konate for that game. So they'll be back and rearing to go against Chelsea. With Chelsea's back line, do we call back Silva for that big game experience, or because we've been playing? I think our defence have been playing a lot better since he's not been playing, simply because we can push up a bit more, and we've got the recovery pace and the complement. I think Disasi complements Colwill a lot better. So we'll see how we line up at the back. So obviously, as I said, we've got no Reece James, but I think this season, what's his name, Gusto, has been playing really well. Obviously, Liverpool's back line with Eliza, Van Dijk and Konate, they'll probably edge our back line because we haven't really kept a clean sheet for God knows how long. And the thing is, it was a pity that we couldn't keep one against Aston Villa. They scored that late goal. But our defence have tightened up a bit. We've only conceded 3 goals in the last 3 games, which is a lot better than 8 in the 2 previous games to that. So they're showing a bit more appetite for defending now. So I'm hoping that they can carry on that good defensive form in the cup final. If we move to midfield now, that's an interesting one, because if you look at Liverpool, they could have been lining up with Caicedo and Lavia, but Lavia's not fit anyway. But obviously we got Caicedo, but arguably, I'm taking my blue tinted glasses off and being unbiased. Liverpool's new midfield has settled in better than ours, and that's a fact. That's why they're top of the table. We're 10th. Endo and McAllister. McAllister's been a sensation for them. Let's be honest. He looks better than our. They paid 30 million for him, was it, on the release clause? And when you think we paid an extra 75 million for our Argentinian midfielder, at the moment, he is the better one. At the moment, I say. Potentially, I still think Enzo Fernandez got that potential, but if you're looking at current form and the way that he's performing at the moment, McAllister is the better of the two. And even Endo is, unfortunately, outperforming our... did Endo cost 20 million or so? I think in total they paid 50 million for their midfield duo. We paid 250 million for, not 250, 215, was it 220 for our two midfielders, and Endo has definitely settled better into the Liverpool side than Caicedo is into Chelsea. And as I said, there are reasons for that, because as I said, Caicedo didn't have a proper pre-season. It's better coming into a settled team. They've come into a new team where we've got practically 8 or 9 new players you have to sort of gel together. With Liverpool, have already had a set team. Although I said that midfield is quite new with Szoboszlai in there, so whether he's going to be fit or not, I don't know. But as I said, not to say, because we're seeing now Caicedo coming more into his game. He's still got a few things to iron out in his game, but you are seeing a bit of that money that we paid for him. And as seasons go, he will become a top player. I've got no doubt about it. But for now, if we're talking about the here and the now, I'll just have to say that Liverpool have got the better midfield, and the proof is in the pudding. Now, so if we now go to the attack, and this is where there's a massive gulf in attack. We have got some good players, don't get me wrong. As I mentioned before, I think last time Nicholas Jackson, when we played them at Stamford Bridge, gave them lots of problems, and he's a pressing machine. But when it comes to finishing, that's what lets him down. Inconsistent in front of goal. Same with Sterling, hit and miss in front of goal. And Cole Palmer got into double figures. A lot of those have been penalties, so he's the only one really who's scoring goals really. And Cuckoo really hasn't played any games to get into that. But you know that he's a top finisher. You know that once he gets into his game, the goals are going to come. If you contrast that with the Liverpool attack, a stat came out today after the match against Luton. All 5 of their attacking players that have got double figures. They're the only team in top flight European football to do that. So when you look at it, Cody Gakpo is it an 11 or something? I think it was. Jota, I think, is on 13. I'm doing these numbers off the top of my head, so I may be wrong. I think Salah's on 19. Who are the other 2? We've got Nunes. I think he's probably on something like 12 or something like that. And they've got Diaz. I think he was on 10, or it could be the other way around with Gakpo maybe on 10 and Diaz maybe on 11 or something like that. But anyway, all of them have got into double figures, and that's the difference. So even I think Salah is going to be back, and I do think Nunes is going to be back as well. But even if Salah wasn't there, then you look at Gakpo, he scores goals. You look at even Ashley, the guy Harvey Elliott, who was played the other day, he scores goals. And the difference is with Liverpool, they take shots. They don't mess about on the ball and try to walk the ball in the net. And when they got an opportunity, when they have a sight on goal, they'll shoot. With us, it's got to be a clear-cut chance before we shoot. We dither sometimes. We don't have enough shots. And the thing is, you don't take shots, you're not going to score goals. And that's what the Liverpool, against us, Nunes, didn't he hit the post 8 to 7 times, against 5 times or 6 times a record against us? But whenever he has the opportunity, he's going out for goal. And that's the difference. And that's why Liverpool are scoring goals for fun at the moment. I think they scored 4. They scored 4 yesterday. I think, or was it 4 the week before? And they, you know, even with injuries, they're still scoring a lot of goals. So this game is going to be a tough game, and this is where it could be won for Liverpool, I think, up top, because they've got players who are clinical, no matter who they are. They've got 5 players who are clinical. With us, we create, you know, the chances we create, our conversion rate isn't good. So that's why we badly need somebody, you know, a proper difference maker at the top for next season, and that's where we're lacking. So the best we can hope is to try and keep it tight. Liverpool can be got at. They play that high line. We can utilise our counter-attacking football, because that's what we've been doing. We've changed to more, like Man City was a more counter-attacking style of football. So that's what we may need to adopt against Liverpool at the weekend. So we'll see. So Liverpool shade us in all the areas, I think, apart from the goalkeeping, and that's why, as I said, the league positions at the end of the day don't lie. But it's a one-off game, it's a cup game, one-off cup game. So although on paper they're better than us, they've performed better than us, on the day we don't know what can happen. So guys, stick your predictions in the comment section below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on post notifications so you'll be notified every time I make a new video. So take care.